cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host, Freddie G, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. And you can find us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And if you're on YouTube, please don't forget to like and or subscribe. What's up, fellas? Welcome to another True Tuesday. Today, man, I wanted to first start off by speaking on how I feel, you know, America is the greatest country in the world, and I wouldn't choose any other place to live. However, I do feel that our country may not have their priorities in the right place, and I know a lot of people may think the way I'm thinking in regards to the financial deficit that we're in. You know, America is in the deficit is over $34 trillion, right?
Wow.
And that equates to damn near over 100,000 per American.
Wow.
So with that deficit, you just wonder how and why. You know, I read every year how America sends money to other countries, you know, for aid and humanitarian needs and other things of that nature. Mm-hmm. Ukraine, for example, you know, since Ukraine has been in this war, I think the U.S. has funded them over $75 billion.
Damn.
You know, this not little money we speaking on.
No, that's real serious money.
Yeah, they just funded someone. I'm going to say a couple of weeks ago.
You know, and in that 75 over that $75 billion, I'm gonna see it says $3.9 billion was for humanitarian funds, which is like emergency food assistance, healthcare, refugee support, and other humanitarian aid. Another $26.4 billion was for financial, which it says budgetary aid through the economic support funds. Another $46.3 billion, you know, for security assistance. Another $23.5 billion for weapons and equipment, and another $4.5 billion for grants and loans for weapons and other equipment. You know, and I'm saying all that to say, you know, we have our own problems here,
Right.
you know, and I feel, I'm not saying I'm disputing helping our allies or whatnot, but why can't we take care of home first or better than what's being taken care of? Because, you know, the issues that we have here, I feel, shouldn't be to the extremes that they are. You know, the homelessness. Right. You look at some of these states that have different type of catastrophes, like we have hurricanes here in Texas. Floods. You look at in Hawaii, you know, they had those wildfires, which, you know, all that cost, which they do designate programs to assist these people, but it just doesn't seem to be enough. Right. You know, because people are still rebuilding from when Katrina hit in New Orleans, and that was what, over 20 years ago. You know, and I feel like it shouldn't take us that long to rebuild when we go through certain things. If we got this type of money to lend other countries when they're going through things, I mean, again, I do feel that we are the greatest country in the world, but we have our priorities in the wrong. I ain't gonna say in the wrong places. Right. It just makes you wonder how we're deciding to spend this money the way we're spending it, and we're not able to help our own any better than what's being done.
It sounds to me like it's Congress, you know, got a lot to do with that, because they are aware of our homelessness right here in America. I mean, in Houston alone, you know, we see it all the time. You know, downtown under the freeways, man, it's communities under that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you say, K-Money, I don't understand either why they take so much money from our country to give to another country to help them fix the same issues we got over here. They helping them over there fix their shit. what about us? We need a lot of that too. You got a lot of veterans that need to help. You got again, a lot of the homelessness is probably partially veterans anyway.
Now I will say, because I have been fortunate enough to go to different countries or to visit several other countries, and their issues are pretty bad, I will say. Mm-hmm. So that you look at our homeless population, and ours is minimum compared to some of these third world countries that we possibly could be helping. Right. But again, like you said, we have veterans that are homeless that I feel shouldn't be homeless. Right. And again, a lot of them are homeless by choice. Right. We talked about this on a previous show, so I definitely don't want to go back and say something that we previously said. But again, they are homeless by choice, but there are vets out there that, shouldn't be on the street and can qualify, right, to get off the street. Mm-hmm. I mentioned the Maui wildfires that happened less than 2 years ago.
That was last year.
That was last year. That was recent. That was recent.
And the damage. I don't know if you guys ever watched the news or around that time when it occurred. You would see the type of damage that occurred.
Yeah, it was horrible. Mm-hmm.
But that looks like a war zone that went through it. So again, like you say, Slash, we're spending money to help others that have similar issues. And I feel we should be able to rebuild a lot quicker than a lot of these other countries that we're assisting.
Right.
You know what trips me out is we give to other countries. It's okay to give, but we give a lot. Right?
We do give a lot.
You give a lot. Because there's a lot of countries that don't want us to be this great country that we are, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of other, like other countries, which ones I want to mention. Right. But can the ones that we're donating, if we ever needed it, if we ever got in that bind in that situation, could they return the favor? Could they also, because we're donating to less, countries with, not too much of a.
The question would be, are they able to even help us?
Right.
At this point. See, that's a different situation because we helping people that can't even help us.
That's the point I'm trying to make. So if they get back in a great place and say it's 20, 30, 40 years now and the tables have turned, now we need their help. Could they then say, hey, let me give you $5 billion and $26 billion?
They probably would be able to help.
Are they rich enough to? Are they?
I doubt if they would be able to help us in a monetary way. Right. But they may be able to help in some other type of way, which is equivalent to the monetary value that we've, possibly have provided to them. Again, you can't compare.
Not trying to compare. What I'm doing is, okay, like I said, it's okay. It's good to give. You're supposed to give. But sometimes you got to kind of be sensible. You know what I mean? You ever lend some money out to somebody damn well you weren't finna get it back?
That's kind of my point. Is America being sensible with the money that we're spending or giving away? Because again, look at our deficit.
Right. Trillions.
And I mean, you look at yourself as just yourself and your household. That's just like you have to budget your household.
You have to.
It's the same thing.
Right.
Could you see yourself in that type of deficit and 34 trillion? I mean,
and that's what's crazy. I thought it was 16 trillion. Now you're saying 34.
Well, it was 16 some years ago. That's been a while since I heard 16. I want to say if that wasn't 5 years ago, it was like
that's what I'm saying. Now we going up and up. So we didn't double since the last time I heard. I thought it was. I've been saying 16. Exactly. I've said 16 recently. So now I didn't even know.
So 34. What that means is there has been no get back. No money, none of that has been recouped. It's just constantly going more deeper and deeper and deeper in the hole.
Exactly. So we didn't doubled. Yeah. A little bit more than double. So we got 18 more million on top of the 16 that we.
I got that 34 trillion number from it's called Peter G. Peterson Foundation, or it's a national debt clock. Uh-huh. And just like you were saying, Slash, the numbers are actually steady moving as you look at it. Right. So yeah, we are steadily going down.
We out of there.
Yeah, so y'all got valid points, but I think that's only one angle that you're looking at it from, us being lenders to other countries, right?
I agree.
Right. You got healthcare costs.
Right.
That contributes to America being in debt. You got the stimulus that was given out during COVID, and to stimulate the economy. That's part of the reason why America's in debt. And so it's kind of like it's crazy that you could be in debt to yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And so you got to look at just recession alone. That contributes to the debt.
So, and that you mentioned that, what part of us giving, what's the percentage of what we give to other countries that contributes to this deficit that we are deeply in?
Say that again.
How much of what we give into other countries add up in this
that 34
deficit?
trillion?
Right.
That's a good question, because I would think, if we're in that type of deficit, we don't have the money to be
give
given.
nobody.
Exactly.
Right.
So a point to answer you, Freddie G, I kind of disagree, because I work for this company. It's a great bank called Washington Mutual. Any of y'all remember that place? You remember Washington Mutual?
Never banked with them, but I remember.
You remember?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, money. Okay, so I was SBA lending, and I did small business loans. This company decides, anybody with a 665 credit score, we'll give you $50,000.
Really?
And they were giving them out like hotcakes.
Wow.
On top of that, they had no collection agency. So you could get $50,000 and don't pay it back. Nobody's going to call
collected.
you.
Wow.
So Washington Mutual, does it exist anymore?
No.
Okay. That's what's going to happen to the U.S. if we don't watch
That's what I'm trying to say.
So what part that you disagree with me about?
You said that earlier when you said that as far as the lending is for you went to healthcare,
I said that's another thing that contributes to our debt, not just lending to other countries.
Okay,
so you said you disagree with me.
Okay,
Tell me what you disagree with me
misunderstood
about.
you. Okay, I misunderstood you. My mistake. Go ahead. But yeah, I think that's why I think that's what's going to happen if we keep doing that.
Now, let me show you something in regards to your Washington Mutual. First of all, I think that was a good example, right? But when the banks are in trouble, who bail out the banks?
FDIC. Normally they're FDIC.
That money is
insured. FDIC insured.
Okay. Acronym. What's the first letter in the acronym?
Federal.
Okay. I'm going to ask that question again. When the banks are in trouble, who bails out?
Federal.
Okay.
The Fed, yeah.
Okay, the federal. Now, you think of that, you think of the government, right?
Yes.
So the government bails out the banks when the banks are in trouble, right?
Yes.
Now, when these banks are giving out these loans that you gave an example to the people, right? And the people go get these loans for whatever reason that they need those loans, right?
Right.
So, again, it sounds crazy, but the U.S. is in debt. That's another area where the U.S. kind of is in debt with themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you use your bank. Who bails out the banks?
Right. Yep. True that.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The federal, they print the money. See, this is what upsets me. The fact that you have machines to print the money. You can probably print millions of dollars a day. I mean, print the money, pay the damn deficit.
Now check it out. What you just said, that's 1 + 1 = 2.
Right.
That makes sense to anybody.
Right.
Right? Now let me show you something. You have to have some kind of regulation and control. Because if that's the case, we'll print and go all willy-nilly forever.
Yeah.
So they probably say, okay, U.S., you get X amount of millions and trillions of dollars a year that you can print. And then when the next year goes around, you can print X amount of trillions again, but you can't to put it. You can't go over. So, what you said to me that makes a whole 1 + 1 = 2.
Give me a week.
But you gotta regulate it. You gotta do something because it'll be crazy.
And see, but I mean, the way it is now, man. I mean, these people got you doing that famous line, "Out of good times, scratching and surviving." But we got a $34 trillion deficit, and we out here scratching and surviving.
You know, part of the way they get some of that back, right? Let me show you something. You work, right? And when you work, you pay your taxes
on
right?
that. Yeah.
Now, let's say you you've built your credit rating up, and you got pretty decent credit.
Right.
You go get a credit card. With decent credit, they'll probably give you some with a single digit APR.
Rate, yeah.
APR. With bad credit, they'll give you double digit APR, right? So when you pay your bill of $25 that month, and depending on your
credit score and your
interest rates, out of that $25, maybe $7 of that is going toward interest.
Right.
That's kind of like, okay, we're going to recycle the dollar.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Now,
but you still haven't paid your whole debt.
You just
because they took the $7.
Yeah, but no. What I'm saying is the interest alone. Just imagine all of the people with credit cards and all of the people that's paying that $7 in the world. I mean, not in
every
the
month.
In the U.S.
Every month.
So it's kind of recycling the dollar to, but we're gonna. Part of the reason when we're in recession and they tell you don't buy, so they can get the economy back stabilized.
Now
and what they'll do is they'll go and hike those interest rates up. So here's the penalty if you go and start buying and doing stuff. They'll hike those interest rates up on you, and people still go do it.
Yep.
Now, when you say tax money goes here, there, it just shows me that their system does not work. We're in a $34 trillion deficit, man. The system don't work. Whatever system is designed to keep the economy going does not work.
Yeah, I'd hate to have the job of the U.S. Treasurer. I'm sure the legal system also, Freddie G, is a way that a lot of that money is being recouped. You know, you think about, anytime you have any dealings with the law, how it's going to cost you.
Well, some of that stuff, I think it just like everything trickles down, when it comes to the legal system, I think that some of that starts low, on a lower level. Like, for instance, the city. Get tickets, get all this stuff. That money is pumped back into the city. Right. To start to build and do whatever. So when it comes to the legal system, that I think it's local.
Well, okay, I'm glad you used that as an example, the city, because you look at a city like Flint, Michigan. I think it was Flint that had the water crisis.
They still having that issue.
And Jacksonville also.
Jackson.
I feel like we shouldn't have those type of issues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. I agree with that. We shouldn't, and there should be. Let's look at it this way. First of all, I have no excuse for why it's like that, right? But look at it this way. You could be in a rich mansion. You can have millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. But if your water is contaminated in your mansion, your millions of dollars can't do nothing because it's just bad water. Just bad water.
But that water filters from somewhere.
Yeah. But here's the thing. You got to look at okay. Is it possible, and this is not me making an excuse or anything like that, is it possible that whatever they build this filtration system, the land and all that stuff on, maybe that's part of what's contaminating it all.
Possible.
Who knows?
Bad water is the problem. There is a solution to that bad water problem, though, and I feel like the city, which is a part of America, shouldn't have to suffer. Which I feel that they've had to done. Those residents.
Do you think? I'm sorry not to cut you off.
No, you good.
Do you think that if there was a quick solution, an easy solution, with all of the noise? Now, I will tell you, full disclosure, I'm actually working the Flint, Michigan water case
Okay.
for the settlement firm I work for, right? And do you think that if there was a quick solution, it would have been done?
Yeah, I think
Because of all of the press, because there's a lot of lawsuits.
I do feel if there was a quick solution, it would have been done. However, I don't understand that there should have been a temporary quick solution. Because again, we have people that's living in these areas that don't have any decent water that they can either even brush their teeth, cook, and all of this with.
I agree.
So I mean, they had to have a workaround, just like it on our jobs. When some shit don't work right or go right, they think of a quick workaround.
I agree. I'm not like disagreeing. It should, but a part of me can't rule out that if the fix was that easy, the city and the government will want the people off their asses and not to be in their ass about getting a job done. The more press you can take away from that issue, then the less the people be looking at the government and the city. So I don't know if it's just such an easy fix like we think it is.
Right. I can understand. I mean, easier said than done. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think it's such an easy fix like we think it is.
It's just difficult when you're reading how reading or seeing in the news how we're constantly giving money, but our own are suffering here.
Yeah. I agree.
And I show that the U.S. has actually been in debt since its inception. Records show that debt incurred during the American Revolution War, which at that time was over $75 million, and this was in January of 1791.
Damn, we've been in
so
300 years.
Over 45 years, we've been in debt.
Now,
well,
wait a minute,
1791
said that's 300.
And now that you mentioned that, it brings me to say this. We as American people are too soft on our government. We're too soft on them.
Here's the thing. I get that, but the government is the one that make the rules, and it could actually be flipped. We could be a dictatorship.
Hey, be careful what you ask for, because
you did say that, and I agree. But we
got a voice, right? We're a free country.
We got a voice.
We're a free country
with no power.
Yeah, we're a free country, right?
Right.
So technically, we can speak and say or whatever we can do or whatever, free country. But it could easily be a dictatorship to where we ain't got no voice.
But you know what? We got too many millionaires out here for it to be a dictatorship. We got a lot of millionaires and billionaires out here. They not gonna listen to a motherfucker.
Now here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
You know what allows them to be millionaires and billionaires?
What's that?
We're a free country. That's what allows it.
So if it become a dictatorship, they not gonna lose their money. That don't take the money away from them.
Well, if it's a dictatorship, they can set laws to take that money.
Yeah, we're going to need all that. All you can keep is $75.
It's a dictatorship. You do what fuck we say.
See,
they said,
the type of shit.
You got $75 million, you can keep $1 million, give us 74.
See, that's why we in a deficit. That's why we in this deficit.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
No,
K-Money.
you good. Go ahead.
The U.S., according to what K-Money just read, the U.S. was in deficit before our ancestors got here.
I believe it.
1791.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
I believe
we was here, what, 1916?
Yeah.
Or something
The
like that?
system doesn't work.
Yeah.
But it's working somehow because we're still able to get by, and
We going
it don't
up and up
seem-
and up in
but
trillions.
It doesn't seem like the U.S. is suffering as a country, but
you
look at us as individuals, and if we were in the same situation in the U.S. and we'd be hurting bad, down bad.
But you
scratching and surviving.
Yeah, you say it's going up and up and up. Just remember that old saying: "What goes up must come down." I don't want to be here when they trying to collect.
Well, see, that deficit being so high is what makes the dollar value go so far down, because it ain't worth shit. You can't produce the type of money you owe.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a feeling that they're going to launch. This is a good story. Back in the day, right after I got out of the military in 96, 97, there was a commercial. They just kept running buy gas. Man, buy the gas. Gas was 79 cents a gallon. I don't know if y'all remember that. 79, 89 cents a gallon. Get the gas stock. The gas stock, man, you're going to get rich. Get the gas stock. I didn't get it. I had the money to get it. I didn't get it. Now, you fast forward to now, I would have gotten paid if I would have done it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, now, if you notice the commercials that they run, and I know y'all have heard them before on the radio. Hey, the IRS has released 3 million tax credits to come get you, and da-da-da. Y'all done heard that IRS tax relief and all that. I have a feeling that they may, because it's been they may push something to start collecting. And there's a lot of people that owe taxes, a lot.
Yeah, of course.
And if they enforce it, they can get half those trillions,
or
a portion of those trillions.
They need to go for the businesses first.
That's what I'm saying. That's
what I mean. Because that's where
not the individuals, the businesses,
the
then trickle down to
the
the individuals. I'm talking about businesses, then individuals. You know what I'm saying? Do it, and they're gonna do it. I feel that's the way they'll get some of their money back.
They can go after the rich.
That's who they need to go after. Because we ain't got nothing.
We ain't got nothing.
But man, it was just something that was on my mind heavily, man. How the government can get by being in this deficit when I just remember coming up how my mom struggled,
right?
But yet she still made a way for us to get by. Kind of, sort of like the U.S. is doing. It just seems like I'm comparing the U.S. to my individual life, which you certainly can't do,
right?
But it just seemed like the U.S. is just making it a lot better than we were making it back in the day. Mm-hmm. But for all y'all out there listening, man, I just if you got any other questions or topics that you'd like for us to discuss, please shoot them out to us in our DM, and we definitely will consider and shout y'all out. Appreciate y'all joining. Have a good one. This concludes another True Tuesday episode, and be sure you tune in tomorrow for Women Wednesday with Freddie G. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all you YouTubers, don't forget to like and subscribe. And to all my 52 Scott faithfuls, it may be new to you, but if you heard it here, then you know it's true.
Life is coexistence, but